G'day guys, Robert Kitty here. And it was really sunny and hot on the weekend, but now it's overcast again and it had lots of rain last night. So anyway, today's topic, risk. Big subject. Definitely. When people say, oh, things are risky and risky investments and stuff, well, life is in general a risk. You wake up, you could have not woken up this morning, or you could have woken up feeling not so good. And anything you do is risky. Investments, living life, crossing the road, making decisions financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. There's a lot of risk around the world every day that you take. And the thing is, there's a lot of people around the world who say, they're willing to risk that, they're willing to make a decision and do that. But the other thing is, you've also got to take into account other people's ability to handle risk. And there's a lot of people that do a lot of risky things, and they're only thinking about the stuff that they're willing to give up, that they're willing to risk to get what they want. They're not taking into account other people's level of risk or touching base with them. And that's important things to touch base with people. And when talking about risk, I said they're trusting you to make decisions, or if you make a decision, do you think that they would agree with that? And it's not just risking things that are tangible but intangible, such as time. You could put it down as wasting time, but are people willing to risk a fair amount of their time and involve and invest a certain amount of their time into something? And if so, to what extent? Touching base with them means that you get to handle, you get to keep up to date with where they're at the moment. Things could change even if you live with somebody 24/7. Things can change from day to day depending on what's going on, depending on their mindset, whether they're willing to go, okay, look, this was the plan originally, now we have to change it. Things have changed. What are the risks now? What are we willing to risk now and in the future? What you've risked in the past, yeah, that can come into it, but that's the past. You've already risked that. You don't have that anymore. If you say, okay, well, I've done lots of investments, I've lost tens of thousands of dollars, and people are saying, well, I bet you're not going to do that again. I said, no, I am going to do that again, but it has affected me. That changes my threshold of risk. Some of it's increased, some of it's decreased, some of it's like, well, I'll still keep the same amount of risk, but I'm going to be smarter about it, But risk, everyone takes risks during the day. Life is risky. So, you can't get something without risking something else, whether it's your time, emotion, and even a lot of people stake their reputation on things. And for a lot of people, reputation is important and it's paramount. It's like an indicator on your standing within, not only the community that you live with, not only the business people that you interact with, not only with your work colleagues, but with your own friends, family, and all that sort of stuff. When you take a lot of unnecessary risks just because, you risk getting a reputation for, doing so, and that is a reputation among your friends. So that's like your reliability, your consistency. There's some people that I couldn't trust to make a cup of coffee, but I could trust them, trust to call on them whenever I needed them for something really urgent. I was stuck with a broken car. I could call them 24/7 and say, look, dude, my car's just blown up, or I've been in an accident. Help me, please. But, they couldn't get me a cup of coffee. Not that I drink coffee, but anyway, risks. What have you risked in the past? Are you letting that dictate what you risk in the future? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it useful to you? I should get off that whole good thing, bad thing, but is it useful to you in the future with what you need in the future? What do you think that you're going to need to risk in the future? not just money and time, but look at your reputation, your emotional energy, your mental energy, spiritual energy, your friends, family. There are things that I have been willing to risk socially to get to the things that I want to do, which means that I risk losing the people that I care about, my friends, because I might not have a lot of time for them, or if I do, it's pretty short and I've got to make the most of it at the time. But then also there's the risk of when I'm with them that I'll be distracted and they'll get pissed off with me. That's a risk, but then people would say, oh, but you know, your friends should understand. I said, yes, they should understand, but at the same time I've also got to understand that life doesn't stop because I want them to be there for me. Their life does go on. So I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk calling people up to help. It's a risk not calling people up to help. But also realize and ask yourself about other people's risks. Like, you're willing to risk something on someone's behalf, you better make damn sure that that's what they're willing to risk. Like, continually touch base with them, because if something has changed in their life, you know, it'll affect them. And if you do something or make promises on their behalf and risk something that they care about, and it's changed, and they won't be happy about it. You know, they might be able to understand what you were doing, understand, yes, that's what I was willing to risk beforehand, but not being able to touch base with them and not touching base with them just to be sure that, you know, they're still okay with it. It's a bit of arrogance, I think, in my point. But with that, there's certain levels of relationships that, you know, you kind of assume that you know what people are talking about. It's still good manners, I say, in my book anyway. Polite courtesy, just to say, hey, you know, just want to check back, is this still the case? And if they say yes, we'll go, okay, cool. You've at least checked back with them and nothing has really changed, or something might have changed. Okay, look, dude, yeah, I said before, but I can't really because X, Y, Z. And not even that they have to give an explanation. Sometimes it's hard for people to explain why they can't keep the promises that they have before, and they don't. And it might be other people's promises that they have to fulfill that means that they can't fulfill their promises to you, or accept that level of risk again. That's something to be aware of. So, anyway, Monday morning, overcast, not dreary. It's good for the plants. We had some sun. I hope some of this went out to those farmers out in the outback too. And yeah, it's a lot of allergy season at the moment, so take care. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Anyway, risk. What have you done in the past? Has it affected your future? What are you going to do in the future? What are you going to risk in the future? What do you think other people have risked on your behalf? Now that's a big one. What do you think other people have risked on your behalf? So think about that. I'll see you later. Love you guys. Bye.